This is a quick screencast about the benefits of using a tool or product like OneNote when it comes to meeting management, or especially meeting minutes and meeting notes. OneNote is a Microsoft product that is available in many different flavors on a number of different platforms. The one that we'll be demonstrating here today primarily is the one that comes free with Windows 10. So if you have Windows 10 installed on your device, your machine, you have OneNote. It is also available in web format at OneNote.com or through OneDrive.com. There is also a downloadable, installable version that comes along with Office 365 subscriptions. That's probably the fullest featured version of OneNote. That's available on PC and Mac for Office 365 subscribers. And there is also mobile versions on iOS and Android. Now we're going to stick here with the Windows 10 version. It does not have all of the features that are available in the Office 365 version, but I think for our purposes and if we're thinking about meeting management, I think it has everything that we need it to do. So applications for this are fairly obvious. We all are meeting goers, meeting managers, probably some of us or maybe even most of us. Could be used in a church council setting, could be used in a school faculty setting. In fact, let's just use that as our example today. So in the concept here, and we'll go into this in a little bit more detail, is notebooks are the large group. That's the big collector, and then you have sections within that represented by these tabs, and then in each section you populate it with pages. So we're going to create a new notebook for demonstration purposes, and you do need a Microsoft account, although that is free and easy to get. So I'm going to use my Microsoft account, and I'm going to give it the name School Faculty. So this notebook is going to be for all faculty business and information. I'm going to create the notebook with the intention of using this for our faculty meetings. So now we have a school faculty notebook here. We have a blank section and a started page. We're going to change this section into faculty meetings, and we can actually color this too. So if we wanted our faculty meetings to all be in green for easy identification, we could do that. And then we have an untitled page, which will change when we give it a title. Now, a couple years ago, Sally Draper and I wrote a book entitled With All Your Heart, and that book is represented here. You can go to wellstech.wells.net, and there's a link there on the page. In that book, we provided a number of templates, and one of them was in Chapter 4 Meetings, a sample OneNote file. So if we take a look at that, just gives you an idea of maybe a suggested meeting agenda format, and this obviously could be modified to fit your needs. Let's just cut and paste this content into our OneNote, and we'll call this faculty meeting, and then normally you'd put the date here. In fact, we're just going to create a template to start with, and the way OneNote works is you just click and you type. So I clicked on the page and I could just start typing, or for this one I'm going to cut and paste that content in so at least we have something to start with. And you notice the content is surrounded by this little gray box, which could be dragged around. We could delete it, we could copy it and make multiple copies, we could change the colors, we could add bullet items. So if we wanted to add a checkbox next to those so that we could check them off as action items get completed, that's easily done. If we wanted to kind of call out these discussion or issue items, we could put maybe a question mark in front of them. That's similar to what we did in the template. You see we've got other markers here: contact, address, phone number, critical, important. We have justification and all kinds of styling tools here for our purposes. We do have bullets and numbered lists, and we could change the fonts, etc. We do have the capabilities of inserting content as well. So as we're building our agenda, we could have other resources that would be available for the meeting. That's one of my favorite features for OneNote, is it can collect everything for you. It could be images, it could be audio files, it could be text files, it could be Word documents. In fact, let's just go ahead and look at what you can insert. You can put your own tables in here, files, pictures, links. You could even record audio if you want. And of course, wouldn't be a modern day application without the ability to put stickers in. All kinds of capabilities here. If you have some kind of device where you have maybe a pen or something that you can draw on the screen or touch the screen, you have some drawing tools, and then some viewing options, even a replay option that would allow you to see the document built over time, and you can scrub back and forth along a playhead that would allow you to see how things came together. We're going to just insert a quick document just to show you how that works, and you can do it as an attachment, or if it's a PDF, you could actually put the content of the PDF right in there. We have Explorer window open. I'm just going to maybe grab a document here from reports, get that out of the way, and just drag in a report here. So this is a Word doc. I'm just dragging it from Windows Explorer. Mac works the same way. And one of the neat things about this is you have the entire document here contained within the OneNote file. It's not a link to some other location. It's contained right here. So anybody who opens this can see that document, can open it, read it, edit it, etc. So we've got a good start here. I'm just going to delete this because I don't want this in my template. Let's say this is a good starter template for us. Maybe let's add another item here. And you notice as I hit enter, it just automatically knows that, hey, I want a checkbox there. For this, we maybe want to create a new section so that we can reuse some of this content. So I'm just going to create a template area, and maybe I will color that red just to call attention to it. And we don't need this untitled page here, so we'll just delete that. We're going to come back over here, and we've created this template. I'm going to click and drag it right into my template section. So now I have nothing in my faculty area, but in my templates I have something that could be reused over and over again. So if I were ready to build an agenda for the next faculty meeting, I would simply go over to Template, right-click, and I could move Copy, and I'm going to move it over to, I'm going to copy it over to Faculty Meeting, and click Copy. So now I've got a fresh copy of my template here. I would just change my information here. So meeting, and then whatever the date would be, let's call it next Monday. And then I would begin to build things out. Add documents, whatever I wanted to do to get ready for the meeting. The best part, in my opinion, about the capabilities here of OneNote and its uploading content to the cloud is that then can be shared. So let me just take a look real quickly at the OneDrive side of things, and I'll just go to my browser here, and I've logged into my OneDrive. And again, you just need a free Microsoft account. And I'm going to go into Documents, and you'll notice that here is the OneNote notebook that I created. It simply lives right here. If I clicked on this, it would open up OneNote in the browser. I mentioned that you have a browser version. You could copy this around as well if you wanted to move it someplace else, download it, whatever. That would be here for you. This one is relatively small. We haven't put much content in it. So let's go back to our document here, and let's see how we can share that content. Up in the upper right, we have a share link, and we have the ability to share just this page, or we can share the entire notebook. And for our purposes, I want to share the whole notebook, and I'm just going to share it with another email account I have just to demonstrate how this looks. And I can allow edit or view only. And in the case of maybe faculty, you'd want everybody to be able to edit and contribute, add suggested meeting items, those kinds of things. I'm going to go ahead and click share. And now 2 people have access to this notebook, only 2. And an email has been now sent to my Gmail account. So let's take a look at what that looks like. So here's the email I received, and it simply says, this is now available in OneDrive for you, school faculty. So I'm going to go ahead and click on View in OneDrive, and what happens now is it will open up in the web version of OneNote. I mentioned that was another version, which really is pretty powerful and has a lot of the same features. So you can see that I have my same folders here, my faculty meetings, my templates. Those are both synced up here. And whatever I change in my local copy would be then ultimately synced back to the online version. And there sometimes is a little bit of a lag between the sync, but not too bad. So I'm here in the web version as the contributor. I've been given edit rights, so I have the ability to edit either in my own copy of OneNote, or I can edit it in the browser. Let's go ahead and see what that looks like. So now you can see that I've got a flashing cursor, which means I can add information. Maybe I wanted to attach a document myself, a progress report, or some other kind of asset that would be useful to the meeting. Maybe add an issue that I wanted to be considered, and so forth. So extremely powerful collaboration features, and because I was given edit rights, I can also share it myself. So let's go ahead and maybe add another action item, item 4, and this will sync automatically, and remember it's syncing to that OneDrive in the cloud, which is then going to sync back to my Windows 10 version of OneNote as well. So let's head back there. And sometimes, as I mentioned, you need to wait a little bit for it to sync, or you can kind of force the sync. So I'm just going to go to my notebook, and I have a sync option here, and I can say sync all the notebooks or just this notebook. So I'm going to go ahead and let that sync, and you notice that it says syncing up here, and then immediately we see that the item 4 was added down here. You'll also notice, this is kind of neat, you have the ability to see who edited it. If I had been logged in with my own Microsoft account through my Gmail account, my full name would have been here, and then we have a full running history of who edited what, who added what. The kind of neat thing about tools like this is with the sharing capabilities, everybody has the latest copy. So things can be added after the meeting. If you're the secretary and needed to add things after the meeting was over, everybody can always come back to the meeting notes, and they're always up to date. You don't need to email them out. They're just going to be there for everybody to take advantage of. One of the real powerful things about OneNote, and I think maybe even a step above what Google Docs offers, has all the same features as Google Docs, plus the ability to embed documents and audio files and those kinds of things, plus the different platforms that it's available on, including the mobile versions and the different versions that are available on Mac and PC. So if you're looking for a tool, a collaboration tool for your meeting management purposes, OneNote is something that you may want to consider, especially if you've got Windows 10, comes free with the operating system.